Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to COD Zombies HQ. Back in 2017, Treyarch held a massive presentation announcing to the world that their new COD game, Black Ops 4, would do something for the Zombies mode that they had never done before and have never done since. And that is leaving everything we knew about the zombie storyline and characters and world up to that point totally behind, and instead start entirely fresh with something that they called the Chaos storyline. It was at this event where myself and a bunch of other Zombies creators got a chance to talk with the Zombies leads at that time about this, specifically Jason Blundell and Craig Houston. Where at that event, Jason made it abundantly clear to us that the Chaos storyline maps and universe would never have any kind of tie-in with the Ether story. Hard stop. So he said, don't look into the trailers to try to find Ether storyline references or Easter eggs. There will not be any. Chaos is its own universe, totally separated from the rest of Zombies, and don't try to look for or mistake that as anything else. And well, that seemed to hold true even after the Zombies Chaos storyline was basically cast aside and forgotten after the release of the DLC to Zombies map for Black Ops 4 named Ancient Evil left that story totally unresolved. And after that point, we never heard anything from Treyarch about the Chaos storyline ever again. All through the rest of Black Ops 4, all through Black Ops Cold War, and the start of Vanguard, nothing until now. As for the first time since early 2018, the Chaos storyline has been brought back into the fold of current Zombies with the release of Numa for Vanguard, including a radio that references characters from that Chaos storyline. And why this is such a big deal is twofold, where first of all, we never expected to hear of Chaos ever again. Treyarch said that this universe would never blend with the Ether storyline, don't even think about it, but Jason Blundell is now not with the Treyarch Zombies team anymore. He's leading Deviation Games, and I always got the impression that the Chaos storyline was kind of Jason Blundell's baby. It was his project and him wanting to take the lead on creating an entirely separate new Zombies storyline. But now that he's gone, maybe those ideas aren't championed by Treyarch anymore, and the new management might feel like we have built up a pretty decent, unique universe that has a dedicated following. Why are we just letting the Chaos storyline rot and sit there without incorporating some elements into this new Dark Ether storyline too? Make both fan bases happy. But the second reason is that the reintroduction of this Chaos storyline into Zombies has produced some surprisingly mixed reactions from the community. Now I'll be totally honest with you, say this up front, I personally was never a fan of the Chaos storyline or a lot of the Chaos storyline Zombies content. It just didn't interest me personally like the Ether storyline did, and my position hasn't really changed on that ever since the release of Black Ops 4. Though I will say I would genuinely be interested to see how they integrate it into the Dark Ether storyline in the future. But at the same time, like an opinion on anything Zombies, that is not the universal belief behind the Chaos Zombies storyline, where a lot of Zombies players, especially those that were around during the early part of Black Ops 4 Zombies, really have come to love and appreciate the Chaos Zombies storyline and maps for what they are. Which is why it's so interesting to me that amongst the fans of the Chaos Zombies storyline, there seems to be two prevailing camps that are responding to its reintroduction here in Vanguard Zombies. The first is the positive camp, the camp that loves Chaos Zombies and never thought they'd see anything to do with the characters from that storyline ever again in a Treyarch Zombies mode, and honestly are just relieved and happy that that storyline, that those characters can continue in some form, that perhaps there will be a resolution to the Chaos Zombies storyline that we never got back in Black Ops 4 due to the cancellation of its second season's pass, which if you guys didn't know was a thing, it definitely was. It was being planned at Treyarch, just never released. Or be sure to click the tag in the upper right hand side after this vid if you want to know more about that. But on the other hand, a lot of fans of the Chaos Zombies storyline aren't exactly very happy that it's being brought back in this form, being amalgamated, combined with the current Dark Ether story. Where one of the most prolific fans of the Chaos storyline that I know is fellow Zombies Twitch streamer Smart Guy, who had this interesting response to its reintroduction in Numa, where he said, quote, "Here's my hot take on the new Numa in Vanguard. Pushing what we had of the Chaos storyline into the Ether universe, even if it's just one quote, is the worst thing that can happen. Please let it just be a reference for fan service. So obviously he's very against the merging of these two storylines, and he does bring up a good point that it is just one quote in the game right now. We don't know to what extent Treyarch is planning on fusing these two storylines in their next map. I do think that they will continue to fuse them even more, with that map being set in Egypt. But I asked him, as a big fan of the Chaos Zombies mode, why he thought that, and his response was very interesting. He said, quote, "Chaos was special for being an entirely new story with no connections to Ether at all, so it could truly go anywhere. If it gets tied back into it, even if it's within the Dark Ether universe, which is still limited by the original Ether story, then a lot of that allure is gone, in my opinion." Essentially saying that what made it so unique and interesting was the fact that it had the freedom to be its entirely own thing. Getting merged with Ether kind of loses that specific charm of the Chaos storyline that he enjoys. Whereas definitely a valid position, and I can see where he's coming from. But I've also been thinking about this a bunch and kind of have a maybe far-fetched theory of why Treyarch is just now starting to re-mention the Chaos storyline and its characters. Where I think it's a possibility that they're trying to reintroduce those characters into the general consciousness of the Zombies community to their player base, where players may have forgotten about characters like Scarlet and Rhodes, by introducing them back into the fold in Vanguard, while current players or new players who just got started playing zombies in games like Black Ops Cold War would recognize and know of these characters for the first time. But why would they be doing this now? Why are they expanding the cast of Zombies characters beyond what they already were? Well, I think, and this is just total speculation, it might have something to do with this rumored free-to-play Zombies game that is likely to be releasing in Q4 at the end of 2023 next year. With the information that is leaked out about it so far, it seems like the content of that game will not necessarily just be Treyarch releasing a bunch of new maps into this Zombies standalone free-to-play game for the community to enjoy, but rather providing the community with an accessible tool to create their own maps. And I've been wondering if that's their goal of what that game is going to be. I would imagine that Treyarch wouldn't want to just stick to the Dark Ether storyline for this free-to-play title, but rather giving players assets and access to characters, probably through microtransactions, of the entirety of the Zombies storyline up to that point, meaning none of it will be canonical to the Zombies storyline. That will continue in their next Black Ops game. Rather, this free-to-play title will include map-building assets and characters from the original Ether storyline, from Dark Ether, and also the Chaos Zombies storyline as well. So perhaps this is their first attempt at reintroducing the Chaos Zombies storyline to players, to make those assets and characters more appealing and interesting to their entire player base once they do release that free-to-play game next year. But hey guys, that's just a theory, a game theory. Thanks for watching. Does anybody make those jokes anymore in 2022? I don't know. But hey, that wraps up the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider leaving a thumbs up on the video down below. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, if you're a fan of the Chaos Zombies storyline, or if you aren't. I'd love to hear your thoughts on its reintroduction into the current Zombies story down in the comments. But I want to thank you again for watching, and I'll see you with another Zombies news video very soon. Peace.